Good evening, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and I welcome everybody to this live stream tonight. This is going to be a very short live stream, and I'll explain that in just a second. But before I do, I wanted to let you guys know, number one, many of my videos nowadays have cards up on the upper right corner of the screen. If you are not seeing those cards, well, let me explain. All right. Hello, Clint. Hello, Clint. All right, now, let me explain that for you. As you're watching the video, okay, keep your eye focused on the upper right corner of the screen. Not this particular video, but if you're watching one of my other videos, keep a close eye on the upper right corner of the screen. As you pause that video, you'll see a lowercase I encased in a circle. If you tap on that, now this is for smartphones, by the way. If you tap on that, you will see cards that will take you to another related video. Okay. And I have said this several times, and I guess I'm going to have to say it each and every video from now on because people are not seeing this. I don't know why, but they aren't. But also on my YouTube channel, because I have over 1,000 subscribers, I have something called the community tab. Okay. And if you are not seeing the post from my community tab, let me know, and I will send you a hyperlink to a video that will explain how to see those posts from my community tab. Okay. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And on top of that, I want you to also click the bell notification, because this is the only way you're really ever going to know if I'm posting something or not. YouTube doesn't like to tell people a lot of stuff. I'm sorry, they just don't. Okay, so we have to tell you how to find this stuff out. And yes, frequently check back with my channel, and you'll see more. Okay, now, having said all of that, why is this going to be a short video? Because my schedule changed from night shifts to day shifts, and I have to be in bed pretty soon. So I'm going to be able to be here for about a half an hour, and that's about all I'm going to be on tonight. All right, what I have been doing all day long is I have been writing sections of my 5th Kindle book, okay? And I am doing this. Hello, Crazy Josh Cravey. I do want to apologize for this being a short half an hour live stream, but as I'm explaining here, I've been shifted from night shift to day shift, and so therefore I have to go to bed early at night nowadays. And that means I have to prepare my food and everything else. It's a real hassle. It's great that I'm on day shifts now, and that's wonderful, and I'm thrilled about that, but you have to prepare for those day shifts. You can't just suddenly order up a pizza. That doesn't work, okay? But anyway, I digress at this point. Now, here's the thing. What I'm trying to get you guys to do is let people know about the subscriber button, the bell notifications, the community tab, and of course the YouTube cards, because here's what's going on. I uploaded 5, count them 5, Samsung videos, and I'm sure all of you have seen those. Those are my Samsung tutorials on how to use the smartphone. Okay. Now, the first one has had over 600 views. That's great. That's fantastic. People are actually checking this out. I was like, whoa, okay. Here's the problem, though. They're not watching the whole video, and they are certainly not clicking the cards. They're not. I mean, some people are, but many of them aren't. And that's because most likely they don't know any of this. So, to fix this little problem, I'm going to go through my list of subscribers, the people that are subscribed to me. I got over 2,000 people subscribed to me right now. And it's like, whoa, you did it. Whoa, 2,000 people. But if you looked at my ratings, it wouldn't look like I have 2,000 people. That's because a lot of them do not know about the cards, and they don't know about the community tab either. So when I make video responses to them in the weeks to come, I'm going to actually tell them, hey, we got a community tab, we got a subscriber button, we got a bell notification, we've got cards on the videos. You need to check those out as well. One of the biggest things is because I've had to put all my parades as made for kids because there were kids in them, unfortunately. They are not looking at the description box either. That's another thing they're not looking at. They see that P1 and they don't recognize that P1 actually means part 1. And then there's also a part 2. And they're not watching the second part of the parade footage. They're thinking they've watched the whole parade and they haven't. And that also creates problems. Look at the description box of these videos, because you're going to see either related videos or something. You may see something in the description box that will tell you about the video, especially if it's a video I want people to see. Now, what about this 5th Kindle book I was telling you guys about? Well, the 5th Kindle book I was telling you guys about deals with memory. I am going to go through this thing with you, okay? It's going to be in 4 parts. It's going to be called Did You Remember Everything? That's going to be the title of the book, okay? The first part will focus on candy facts and soda pop facts and jokes that you can memorize, so on and so forth. The second part will focus on I guess you guys have never heard of this. There was a guy named James Burke. He's still alive, believe it or not. He just doesn't do a lot of television anymore. But back when I was a kid, he did this program called Connections. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up James Burke Connections and you'll see it for yourself. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take key information, because I have James Burke's Connections in 2 books. He wrote a book called Connections. He wrote another book called American Connections. I'm going to take key things out of those books, and I'm going to show you guys how to memorize all those facts. That's going to be in my Kindle book. You're going to learn how to do that. Then there's going to be 2 other sections of the book. They will be theological in nature. Okay, and that's all I'm going to say. But you'll have to read it. Just like my 4 other Kindle books, they're going to be $5 a piece. So that is something I'm going to be doing the rest of the night tonight. I hope, I can't promise, but I'm going to hope that I can get that thing done by Christmas. Okay? And it'd be a nice little New Year's thing for you guys to buy. You can check that out for yourself. But it's an attempt to get you guys to learn all this stuff. Now, there's one other thing I want to tell you guys about, if I get my thing to cooperate. Okay. Once I complete this memory book called Did You Remember Everything, I'm going to write another book that is going to show you people how to memorize the key things you're going to need to know if you ever decide to take the Pharmacy Tech. They have this Pharmacy Tech Certification Board, okay? And they have a test that comes from the Pharmacy Tech Certification Board. And when you take their test, you can become a pharmacy tech if you pass. And I'm going to show you how to memorize the key things that you'll have to know to pass that test. And that will also be not in this memory book, but it'll be in a separate book. But in order to do what I want you to do in that separate book, you're going to have to know how to do what I have in this book. Okay. Now then, since I still have about 20 minutes left to go before I have to get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about one particular person. Now, I wanted to tell you that somebody watched my hyphen and underscore video, and it was wonderful. It was fantastic. They said, thank you very much. I was thrilled. I was pleased to do this. Most of the people that I have watching me just really are thrilled with what I present to them. And that's great. And that's fantastic. I love you guys when you do that. It lets me know I've done something very well. So whoever it was, and I'm sure, I think I already thanked him for it. I'm thrilled he watched. I hope he will go back to the video and see the card that's on that hyphen underscore video, click it, and then go on to the next one. However, not everybody is like that. I wish they were, but not everybody's like that. So we have to talk about one that isn't like that, because I always like to be fair. I really do. I like to say, you know, hey, I'm glad that you people are watching, and that's great, and that's fantastic, whatever. I will tell you that as I have had people watch my first Samsung video, they don't watch the end screen, they don't click on the card, and so therefore they don't know there's a part 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those particular videos don't get a lot of ratings. I thought, honestly, when I posted up that 5th Samsung tutorial with all the illustrations in there and everything, that they would actually watch that because of all the camera terms I was using. And believe me, I was talking about protons and electrons and neutrons. And you talk about a over 20-minute presentation showing you guys how to really work that camera. Well, I got watched 25 times and not even all the way through. So it's like, okay, we got to do something. So in the future, when I do my live streams and I'm actually addressing people directly, I'm going to actually tell them about the community tab, the subscriber button, the bell notification, and also the cards so that they'll say, oh, maybe we should check that out. We all can hope. Anyway, let's talk about this one person. Now, if anybody has been following my Twitter, I will talk about that briefly. It was all about free college. Okay, let me clear this up for you. All right, I really want to clear this up because it's not what everybody thinks. Hang on. On.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. So sorry about that. Oh. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now we're back to where we are. We all still here? Okay. Well, we're back to where I started. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about free college. Free college is not free. Okay. I know people are going to say, well, free college is free. No, it's not. Okay. What happens is that we, the taxpayers, pay for the college that these kids are going to attend. That's not free. We're paying for your college tuition. Now, some people are like, well, that's wonderful. No, it's not. Because eventually they're going to be paying for somebody else's college tuition. So instead of paying for their own college tuition, now they're going to be paying for somebody else's. And it's just going to go down and down and down along the lines. But some of us are not going to benefit from this. Okay? I'm not going to get the opportunity to go to college because, after all, I'm 50 years old and they would want to test me out and see if I could even do the dang courses and all this other stuff. And by the time I got done, it'd be too much of a hassle for me to go. Okay, I'm sure if I wanted to go through the whole hassle, that'd be fine, but I don't. And so if I'm not going to benefit from something, that would be the equivalent of buying a candy bar and being forced to hand it to somebody else because somebody else wanted it. No. Or it would be the equivalent of you playing the lottery, you win the prize, but then they give it to somebody else because that somebody else needs it more than you. What? But I bought the ticket. I'm the one that won the prize. That's silly. That's just absolutely silly. So anyway, had this long discussion, and the guy was saying, well, you already pay taxes for universities. That actually should, I totally disagree with that. I 100% disagree with that. If you're not going to that university, you shouldn't have to pay for it. Your tax dollars should not be going to fund a university that you never attended yourself. That's the way I feel. I think that's totally wrong. And then he was going on, well, you went to grade school, junior high, and high school. Well, the thing is that when my parents paid the taxes, their children actually benefited. Okay, so I actually got that education, even though and actually my parents got that education too. There you go. So they got the education, I got the education, so we both benefited. That's why I paid the taxes. They say, well, wait a minute, you don't have any kids, so who's benefiting now? Well, I have friends, they have kids. I don't mind paying the taxes for them because I care about what happens to them. But at a certain point, when they graduate from high school, I'm not going to pay for their college. Besides, think about it for a second. When I benefited, I wasn't old enough to pay for my own college or my own high school or my own grade school or my own. I wasn't able to pay for all that. Sure, my parents could have put me in private school, I suppose, but they just decided it would just be far easier and less of a hassle to do that, to send me to public school than private school. And it was a cheaper alternative. Fine. Great, fantastic. I actually benefited. They benefited from it because they went to school under the same program. But my point is that once you turn 18 years old, you can go get your own dang job. And if you want to continue your education from there, you can. But here's the bigger point. The bigger point is this. You don't have to go to college right away. Nope. What have I presented here on this YouTube channel? I have taught you guys accounting, computer tech, high-end mathematics, how to speak, read, and write Italian. Why did I teach you all this? Okay, it's all based on keys. All right. As you all know, some doors do not open unless you put a key in there. If you don't have the key, you can't open the door. Same thing with books. I read books like this, but if I didn't know if I didn't know the bulk of the vocabulary in this book, I could not read it. It's that simple. The vocabulary is the key to unlocking what this book is trying to tell me. And yes, I have read quite a bit of this book, and you guys should read it too. It's called The First Urban Christians, and it's by Wayne A. Meeks. So if you get a chance, read it. Good book. I will tell you the first chapter is boring, but after that, you really get some good, juicy stuff. Okay? That's not the point. The point is that without the vocabulary, if you don't know enough vocabulary, you can't read that book. If you can't read that book, you can't learn from that book. How do you think I learned about Pappas Book 7, Proposition 238? Well, because I had an extensive vocabulary and I was able to read the book, and therefore I was able to determine what the guy was actually saying. See what I mean? And this also holds true for all the calculus stuff I've taught you so far, all the rudimentary math I've taught you so far. And at first, when I was talking to the guy on Twitter, I used the word remedial. Well, remedial is kind of related to the word rudimentary, okay? In this sense, when you're talking about rudimentary education, you're talking about very low-level stuff. You're talking about basic arithmetic, basic vocabulary. You might be able to read a pop-up book by the time you get done with rudimentary education. Okay? So sometimes you need remedial education to boost your skills so you can finally have a good education. So the purpose of remedial education is to fix what rudimentary education couldn't give you. And in today's grade schools, junior highs, and high schools, if they're operating with Common Core, it isn't just rudimentary, it's substandard education. It really is. I have talked about it on my YouTube channel before, so don't even try to convince me of that. Okay? But anyway, the guy went far-fetched and whacked out, and by the time I was done, it was like, it don't even get worth it here. So anyway, the thing is that he was trying to support the free education thing with the college. Oh, you're going to get this free college. It's not free. And if you're considering supporting a candidate, you might want to, number one, make sure you come over to this channel and get Brian Red Lightning. Hello, welcome to Walgreens. What am I saying? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Wow. Where'd that come from? I don't know. Woo, that went right in and right out. Okay, sometimes my brain just kind of gets stranded there. Okay, fine. But the point is, if you're going to support a candidate, you might want to check to see if they're supporting this free college. You want real free college? Come here. Walgreens, ha 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 ha. I know. My brain went wee out the wall. Okay. I've said some pretty weird stuff when I've been shopping at Walmart and other places too. So don't, yeah. Anyway, here's my point. If you want the real free education, come here. I have those days too. Yes, I agree with you, Brian Red Lightning. But when you want the real education, the real free education, you come here, you learn it from me, get my ratings up, and I'll teach you more. And buy my Kindle books, and I'll teach you. I promise you, I'll teach you. Okay? So it's coming. Now, let's cover one more thing before... Oh, would you get over here? Before I go. This comes from a young lady. Her name is Sean IRL. And I have gone to her YouTube channel. She actually does have videos. And I can tell you right now that what kind of education she has is very rudimentary. And she was watching my response to Jeff Bliss. And if you guys don't know who Jeff Bliss is or anything like that, you can go watch my videos about Jeff Bliss. I did issue one apology to him because I didn't recognize that he didn't know anything about Roman forums and honor challenges before he did what he did. But that's the only apology he's going to get from me. And now that I've told you guys about Roman forums and honor challenges and all this other stuff, then, you know, I don't have to go through it anymore. Anyway, so this young lady writes to me after watching my video about Jeff Bliss, which I was surprised she watched the whole thing. She says, no one cares about the credentials, bro. Okay, here's the first problem with that argument. If no one cared about the credentials, I wouldn't have made the video because I wouldn't have cared either. Number two, I'm not her brother. Okay? Not her brother. Okay? Okay. Brian Red Lightning says, I'm from D-Town too. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're here. But anyway, let's go on with the rest of this response. I'm not this gal's brother. One of the first things you do not do when you're arguing with an academic scholar is call him your brother. No, wrong. The end. Okay. Like he stood up for what he cared about. Okay. It is not like he stood up. If you're saying, I agree that he stood up for what he cared about or whatever, you don't use the word like in an academic challenge. Not at all. That's silly. That's absolutely silly. It discredits your argument immediately. Okay? But it goes on. He was passionate. And you, here's the next one. You, not Y-O-U, which would be the word you. It's the letter U. Do not, as if you are trying to debate an academic scholar, do not use abbreviations like that. It automatically discredits your credentials right there. I won't even argue that. I'll say, go get a freaking spell checker or a grammar check or something, because that don't fly with me. And you need to respect that boomer. Okay. One, I don't have to respect anybody. They have to earn my respect. And I covered this in my Amanda Kaufman video. Had she bothered to watch that, she would have known not to use that argument with me. Secondly, that boomer, this kid is not a boomerang, and he certainly is not a baby boomer. Even I'm not a baby boomer. I'm 50, not 72, okay? So neither thing works. So you're getting the picture here. This is not an academic scholar trying to argue with an academic scholar. Doesn't work. So anyway, I wrote her 5 different responses. Let's go ahead and I'll tell you. First of all, I showed her the flaw with the argument, showing her an article about the Italian Hall disaster. If any of you guys have not seen that, please go over there and check that out. And I told her not to use the word like in presenting an argument. And I told her not to use the word you, so on and so forth. Okay, I told her that Jeff Bliss was not a baby boomer, and I also told her about the respect thing. And so what does she do when she writes me back? She says, nice, I got 5 replies, all from the same person. Yep, that was me. Half the comments are you. What kind of an argument is that? She didn't address the 5 key points. And then she says, and no thanks, I don't feel like reading a whole article. And then she gives me an LMAO. I think you guys know what that means. Here's my point. A real academic scholar would have read the article I presented. Would have immediately. Okay? Secondly, they would have used much better grammar, so on and so forth. I won't even go. Everything she did in trying to present a case against me was not academic at all. So she gets a plain F, period. She flunks. She just got her 15 minutes of shame right here on my YouTube channel. Now, she also went on to say on my __ video that it was my top rated video. It still is. And it's my top rated video doesn't have my face in it. So what? As if not having my face in the video is the reason why it gets watched all the time. There are many factors to this. I know some people have got my __ video in their playlist. It's been on the air 10 years. Lots of people have watched it over the years. That's another reason why. It's a short video. They don't have to watch it very long, and they get the point. You see where I'm going with all this? There are lots of contributing factors to why that video is more popular than any other video I've got. But just because it's the most popular video doesn't mean that none of my other videos have been watched. Hardly the case. She took a look at my Iowa gambling task or my Ray auditory verbal learning test video, or the digit span test, the digit symbol test video I did, and I could go on and on and on. There's a lot of videos that I have that are very, very popular right now, including now my Samsung tutorial. As a matter of fact, 2 of my videos, how to put minutes on a prepaid smartphone, and my first TrackPhone smartphone tutorial that I created long before this new Samsung thing I created, those are popular videos too. As a matter of fact, even the video about Jeff Bliss, the one that she watched right off the bat, that's a pretty popular video. I think people could have learned other stuff before that, but whatever. That's my whole point. Okay? So she simply was not being academic about what she was saying. She made very poor observations. And that is why I gave her an F. Everything she said was complete F. And if she wants to watch me as I hyper criticize her, let her come. Let her come. But that's what the whole thing's all about. Anyway, I just wanted to cover that with you guys. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to cut this live stream a little short, but I am working on the 5th Kindle book. If you want a copy of that, hold on, folks. It's coming. You know that I've got some stuff already put in there, and I'm going to work on it again tonight. And every day I get a chance, I'm going to work on it all the way through Christmas. Okay? So, you know it's coming. All right. As I said before, as a new strategy for getting ratings and views and all this other stuff. When I start responding to people again, which I will actually tell them about the subscriber button, the bell notification, the comments, that community tab, and also the YouTube cards. I want them to know that too. So that is a strategy I'm going to employ to try to. I'm also going to do that on my music reviews. And as you saw, my latest music reviews have been improved. I did give you some music facts, and I will try to do that more often. Okay? I'll still ask the questions, though. Mark my words. I'll still ask the questions. But anyway, I want to wish every one of you a happy Halloween. And I hope you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. I may do a video about this upcoming election at some point. If I don't do a video, I may just actually write another Kindle book and just let you know all the things I've learned and so on and so forth. That's something I might want to do. I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in tonight and listening to some of the things I was telling you. Happy Halloween to you as well. Thank you, Brian Red Lightning. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'm sorry I have to cut this a little short because, like I said, I'd love to just do a whole night of this. I really would. But I think you're beginning to realize what this channel is. As much as we have fun on this channel, any costume plans this year from Crazy Josh Cravey? Here's the problem. I'm going to have to work on Halloween, okay? And any costume I buy and put on is going to get ruined at my workplace. Okay, that's just a given. I work in retail, and when you work in retail, you wear grungy stuff that they find appropriate, but it's just like, I'm not going to sit there and ruin a perfectly good costume while trying to do all their work. If I was at a register all day, that wouldn't be a big deal, but I'm not. I have to do other duties, things like cleaning bathrooms and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to ruin my costume while trying to do that kind of work. So, no, I'm not going to wear a costume this year. I mean, it'd be nice, but I'm not going to do it. And that's my manager at work is requiring us to wear costumes on Halloween. I'm sorry to hear that. But then again, I don't know your workplace, so I don't know if your costume would get ruined over that. At mine, yeah, it'd get ruined pretty quick. With all the work I have to do, it'd get ruined. And I don't want to ruin you spend $30-$40 on a costume and it gets ruined, you can't ever wear it again. I was told to go trick-or-treating at 26, so I did. They didn't think I would. Needless to say, the folks turned off their porch life and said, "We're done for the night." Well, who told you to go trick-or-treating at 26 years old? That's interesting. If you want to do it, go ahead. I probably would have brought in maybe a nephew or a niece or a younger sibling. I'd have brought that with you. But anyway. My friend. Oh, okay. Well, but I would have found a niece, a nephew, a younger person of some kind that you're related to, and brought them along with you. Because if you have a younger sibling, you could bring them along, so on and so forth. So, but like I said, I would wear a costume except for the fact that at my workplace, it would get ruined. I know it would. And I'm not going to ruin a perfectly good outfit just for work. Won't happen. So, if it was for that, I would do it. But anyway. So, and you say, well, wait a minute. You're working all these day shifts. What about when the trick-or-treaters come? Well, here's the problem with that. The problem is that by the time I get home and get everything set up for the next day, I'll be in bed long before the trick-or-treaters. I spend the last part of my day getting ready for work, not dealing with trick-or-treaters. So they would never see me anyway. So then I don't usually get Halloween off. Rare is the time I get Thanksgiving off. Usually I don't have New Year's off. The only time I really ever get a holiday off is Christmas. Usually. And that'd be Christmas Day. I even have to work Christmas Eve. So, yeah. So that it just wouldn't be applicable. But thanks for asking. Maybe one day when I retire, maybe I will start wearing Halloween costumes and going to Halloween parties or whatever. But, of course, by that time, I may be investing in canes and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight and watching my live stream and learning from me. One of the things I wanted you guys to learn more than anything else is how to respond to an academic scholar when you're presenting an academic argument. Now, when you're just responding to me as a buddy, a friend, whatever, that's cool. Whatever you want to do, say it, and I'm all thrilled. What will your next Decatur tour vid be? That was from Brian Red Lightning. We got to get rid of these masks. I'm telling you, we've got to get rid of the masks. If I don't get rid of the masks, I can't do any more. I want to so badly, but when you're trying to read aloud a sign or something like that, it just is not going to happen while this COVID thing's going on. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. But I tell you what I want you guys to do. I want you to continue watching my videos, learn from them. I will tell you one last thing before I go. I know I have talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again just because I can. There is a place called the Financial Accounting Standards Board. Okay, Brian Red Lightning says, as long as you're by yourself, you don't need to wear one. I will tell you this, that over Christmas time, if they set up those lights over there in Taylorville, I will be videotaping them again. That's a promise from me to you. I'll get over there some point and I'll get it done. So just know that I'm going to get that done. But anyway, I want to talk about this. This is what they call the Financial Accounting Standards Boards. And well, it's Financial Accounting Standard Board, which is known as the FASB. And they published a statement called Statement Number 3. It dealt with interim financial statements. Today, I discovered, as I was doing my research, that there was an accounting principles board that existed before the Financial Accounting Standards Board, and they put out a statement about interim financial statements. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to present that to you guys so I can present Financial Accounting Standard Board information on number 3. So that is coming at some point. The Kindle book will be coming. And like I said, I will be reviewing more songs. The reason I put up that Home Alone video the way I did, and I had somebody ask me about that. They were saying I was extremely late. No, actually, I was a little early. And the reason I did that is because with Retail Christmas the way it is, I wanted to make absolutely sure that got up on the air before I got too busy to do it. That's why I did it, and that's why it's there. So instead of being extremely late, I was actually, I just posted up, latter part of September, early October, doesn't matter. I got that up there before Retail Christmas got into full swing because I knew I would not have another chance. So that's why I did it. That is also why I posted up It's a Wonderful Life as well. I wanted that up on the air before this year's Christmas because I knew people were going to look it up and they were going to watch it. That's why. So anyway, now that you have all that extra information, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching tonight. Now you know what I've been up to, and you now know that I'm not ignoring you people. I'm not saying, hey, man, I ain't going to do another live stream ever again. No, that's not true. But Retail Christmas makes it really hard for me to do one. I just caught a break today, and I said, what the hey, I'll do a half an hour, let you guys know what was going on, et cetera, et cetera. So I really want to thank you guys for watching tonight, and I want you to continue watching. Watch my other videos, learn from them. Keep telling your subscribers about the bell notifications, the community tab, the YouTube cards, the end screens, all of this. They need to know this. They don't know. And without you telling them, They'll never know. All right. Well, that's it for me tonight. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I will work on my Kindle book tonight. And I want to thank you guys for watching me tonight. You guys all have a safe Halloween and a happy Thanksgiving if I don't get something up before then. And if something really bad happens, I also want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas as well. I will videotape the Festival of Lights. I promise you that that Christmas in the Park will be videotaped this year. It may be one of the last videos you see from me this year. I'm sorry about that. As Christmas comes on, I reviewed The Cinnamon Bear. I reviewed Home Alone. I reviewed It's a Wonderful Life. Check out my reviews. I also reviewed Josh Kirby Time Warrior. You say, well, that's not a Christmas movie. No, it's not a Christmas movie, but if you check out the video, you'll see why I did it. And I wish I had more time to tell you the story again, but you guys have heard the story before, so there you go. All right. I want to, again, thank you guys for watching tonight. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.